Hello and welcome. Good evening. You're watching Super 6 here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. Over the next 1 hour, I'll be getting you all the top stories of the day with our focus particularly on the southern states. Well, the first 30 minutes will be focusing on all the big headlines from the southern states. And yes, we'll be telling you about what TVK Chief Vijay had to say today at a TVK event. His first public appearance since the stampede. And clearly lashing out at the DMK, Vijay continues to maintain that the Karur stampede was a conspiracy, referring to the Supreme Court order on the same, which ensured a CBI investigation. We'll get you details of exactly what Vijay has had to say on what happened over 30 days ago. Also coming up on the show here on Super 6 at 6:30, we'll be getting you a special on Mamdani being the next New York City mayor, the first Muslim mayor for New York. We'll get you all of the details of that grand ceremony that took place, in which there was a bit of a desi flavor as well. What am I talking about? I'll tell you at 6:30 this evening. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. Let's begin, as always, with the top 10 stories of the day. Leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi has dropped what Congress has referred to as a hydrogen bomb, alleging vote theft now in Haryana. Rahul Gandhi, in a detailed press conference, claimed 25 lakh votes were stolen. EC sources hit back, saying no appeals were filed against the voter rolls and only 22 petitions are pending in the High Court. The BJP has also countered Rahul, saying results often differ from exit polls. The countdown is on for the Bihar battle, gearing up for the first phase of polling tomorrow. Voters across 18 districts, 121 constituencies will cast their ballots after weeks of intense political exchanges. You can join us from 7 a.m. for our marathon Bihar coverage here on India Today. TVK Chief Vijay made his first public appearance 38 days after the Karur stampede tragedy that claimed 41 lives. He observed a moment of silence to pay tribute to the victims. Vijay then launched a sharp attack at the DMK over law and order, over women's safety as well. The Indian women's cricket team has touched down in New Delhi and now met also with Prime Minister Modi at his residence. There are pictures awaited of that meet and greet. Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi Vadra defended her brother and leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi over his remarks on the army, stressing that his remarks should not be seen as an insult to the armed forces. Priyanka Gandhi also lashed out at Prime Minister Modi, reiterating her jibe that he should set up an insult ministry. The buzz over a possible CM change in Karnataka continues, and amid reports of friction in the Congress, the BJP mocked the Congress's internal tussle, releasing a spoof video dubbing it the November Revolution. That's the video there of a musical chairs game which featured Siddaramaiah, DK Shivkumar, Satish Jarkiholi and G. Parameshwara. The countdown is also on to the Jubilee Hills by-polls in Hyderabad. Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy has quoted controversy, claiming that Muslims exist because Congress exists and that their honour is protected by the party, suggesting that without Congress, Muslims are nothing. Zoran Mamdani has been chosen by New Yorkers as the next mayor. The Democratic nominee has emerged victorious in a three-way race, becoming therefore the first Muslim mayor of New York City. Mamdani defeated his main challenger, former Governor Andrew Cuomo. Special coming your way at 6:30. Gulmarg in Baramulla district of Jammu and Kashmir has been transformed into a stunning white wonderland following a fresh spell of snowfall. And this kicks off, of course, winter in the valley, marking also the fact that it's pollution in Delhi. And on the occasion of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's birth anniversary, Gurudwaras across the country and the world beautifully decorated. People offered prayers, listened to kirtans across the country. And let's begin with breaking news that's coming in. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has lashed out at the centre over SIR. And even at such a time, you've got the Chief Minister also backing Rahul Gandhi's vote chori charge. M.K. Stalin has now put out a detailed post on social media alleging the BJP stealing people's mandate through vote tampering. Stalin has also said that under the guise of SIR, there's organized disenfranchisement. Now, this at a time when you're seeing the SIR battle playing out in poll-bound Tamil Nadu, the DMK making it clear that they're against it. Chief Minister Stalin has also gone ahead and backed Rahul Gandhi's vote chori expose today, which the Congress has been referring to as a hydrogen bomb. Anaga Keshav is joining us live with more details on this. Anaga, for the DMK, of course, the SIR has been something they're opposing. They've been taking on the Election Commission over it. So not surprising at all that Chief Minister Stalin has come out in support of Rahul Gandhi's expose.
Well, in fact, Chief Minister Stalin has stood with Rahul Gandhi on the whole vote chori issue since day one. When Rahul Gandhi held the vote chori Adhikari Yatra in Bihar, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin, also accompanied Rahul Gandhi for that rally. And now again, Chief Minister Stalin has backed Rahul Gandhi's vote chori claim in Haryana by saying that the BJP in fact came to power in 2014 on the basis of divisive politics and hate propaganda, is what Stalin says. And now the DMK has also knocked the doors of Supreme Court opposing the whole SIR exercise, because the DMK believes the SIR exercise aims to selectively delete voters, especially from the sections of Dalits, minorities who originally wouldn't vote for the BJP according to DMK, and this exercise aims to delete this section of voters, is what the DMK says. And now the Chief Minister has backed Rahul Gandhi, its alliance leader, by saying that it stands with Congress is saying. And now there is also a battle that's being fought out in the Supreme Court against the SIR. And while all this is happening, the exercise has kick-started in Tamil Nadu. Just yesterday it started. The SIR policy exercise will go on for 1.5 months, post which the final voter list will be out on February 7th, 2026.
So you've got M.K. Stalin essentially linking all of these allegations by Rahul Gandhi to the SIR as well. The DMK, remember, has moved to the Supreme Court against the exercise by the Election Commission. Thanks, Anaga, for joining us with those details. The top story from Tamil Nadu is the fallout of the Karur stampede. It's been 38 days. And while TVK Chief Vijay didn't visit Karur, got the victims to meet him in Chennai, today he made his first public appearance. The party passed resolutions targeting the DMK and centre over a slew of issues: security, women's safety, farmers' relief, voter roll fairness. What about the Karur stampede? Unsurprisingly, Vijay, after going ahead with a moment of silence for the victims, lashed out at the DMK over a slew of issues, saying the Supreme Court has pulled them up, saying the CBI investigation will reveal the truth. So he stuck to what he's maintained all along, that this is a conspiracy against the TVK, against him. The reality, however, is that there will be several questions of how Vijay himself handled the aftermath of that stampede. Let's get you details of what the TVK chief had to say today.
38 days after the Karur stampede that claimed 41 lives, TVK Chief Vijay makes his first public appearance.
இந்த கபட நாடக திமுக அரசோட தில்லுமுல்லுகளை தாங்கி பிடிக்க இயலாமல் உச்சநீதிமன்றத்தில் திக்கு திணறி நின்றது.
He chaired the party's General Council meeting on Wednesday. The meeting, attended by senior functionaries and district secretaries, passed key resolutions addressing issues ranging from women's safety, law and order, farmers' losses, and environmental concerns. Vijay also paid tribute to victims of the Karur tragedy.
இந்த கபட நாடக திமுக அரசோட தில்லுமுல்லுகளை தாங்கி பிடிக்க இயலாமல் உச்சநீதிமன்றத்தில் திக்கு திணறி நின்றது. முதல்வர் அவர்களுக்கு மறந்துவிட்டதா? இந்த கரூர் சம்பவத்துக்கு அப்புறமே அவசரமா ஒரு தனிநபர் ஆணையம்.
Vijay launched a scathing attack on Chief Minister M.K. Stalin and DMK government, accusing them of attempting to blame him and his party for Karur tragedy.
இது எல்லாமே அறியாமலோ இல்ல அறியாதது போலவோ உச்சபட்ச அதிகார மயக்கத்தில் இருந்து பேசினாரோ முதல்வர் அவர்கள்? மனிதாபிமானம், அரசியல் அறம், மாண்பு இதெல்லாம் எதுவுமே இல்லாம வெறும் பேச்சில மட்டுமே பேசிக்கிட்டு அரசியல் ஆதாயம் தேடுற ஆட்டத்தை ஆடத் தொடங்கிவிட்டார் முதல்வர் அவர்கள்.
Vijay asserted that the 2026 Tamil Nadu Assembly elections would be a direct contest between the TVK and DMK.
நிஜத்திலும் இன்னைக்கு மக்களுக்கு இந்த கவர்மெண்ட் மேல இருக்கிற நம்பிக்கை மொத்தமாக மண்ணுக்குள் புதைந்து விட்டது. இதுவாவது முதல்வர் அவர்களுக்கு புரியுதா? புரியலனா 2026 தேர்தல்ல இந்த திமுக தலைமைக்கு மக்கள் இன்னும் ஆழமா அழுத்தமா புரிய வைப்பாங்க. 2026 2 பேருக்கு நடுவுல தான் போட்டியே.
The TVK chief also criticized the DMK government for allegedly imposing unfair restrictions on his party's rallies. The resolutions passed covered tribute to stampede victims, government security for Vijay to meet families of Karur tragedy victims, demand for maximum punishment for the accused in Coimbatore gang rape, opposition to SIR in the state. One of the resolutions accused the DMK of spreading misinformation and defaming Vijay. The DMK hit back at Vijay, blaming him and TVK for Karur's stampede tragedy.
That Vijay will address the gathering. It was at 12 o'clock in the noon. After that, the people had started coming from 9 o'clock. Why didn't he come at 12 o'clock? It's my first question. He had not replied. He will never reply. Because there was no gathering. The people did not, what they expected, number of people did not come. He was in a spot if people have gathered. Do you want us to, the government to put one policeman for each man standing there? Is it possible? They have allowed certain people and certain area permitted by the collectorate. That's all. Within that area, people had fainted.
The AIA-DMK claimed Vijay had learned the truth about the DMK finally.
ஒரு தம்பியை ஒரு கட்சி ஆரம்பிக்கிறாங்கன்னா அந்த கட்சிக்கு எப்போதுமே அந்த தலைவர்கள் வந்து ஒரு தனித்தன்மையோடு இருக்கிறன்னு தான் யாராக இருந்தாலும் வருவாங்க. நீங்கள் ஆரம்பித்தா கூட அப்படி தான் இதுதானே, நீங்கள் எல்லாம் ஆரம்பித்தா கூட சேர்ந்து ஆரம்பித்தா கூட அப்படி தான். ஆனால் உங்கள் கட்சியினுடைய ஒரு தனித்தன்மை இருக்கிற அடிப்படையில் ஒரு அறிவிப்பு வந்து கொடுக்குறாங்க, எங்கள் தலைமையில் தான் கூட்டணி. ஓகே வச்சுங்க, நாங்கள் சொல்கிறோம் எங்கள் தலைமையில் தான் கூட்டணி, சரிதானே.
The TVK also announced Vijay as its chief ministerial candidate. Bureau Report, India Today.
Inevitably, every politician is the same. They'll pass the buck, they'll resort to political blame games, and that's about it. There's no sense of accountability, of responsibility for the fact that 41 lives were lost. We're talking about this 38 days on. Hopefully, with the CBI investigation, there'll be some sense of closure for the victims and we get those answers, because you most definitely can't expect it from the political parties. Let's move on now to also what's happening in Telangana, where you're seeing a whole lot of communal politics ahead of the Jubilee Hills bypoll. This is a crucial bypoll, by the way, in Hyderabad, which was happening next week. Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy has triggered a massive controversy with a remark that he's made, where essentially he suggested that if the Congress exists, then Muslims exist. And so what essentially he's trying to say is that the honor of Muslims is protected. Without Congress, they are nothing. This is what he said in a rally. And this obviously has led to a huge showdown with the VHP, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, saying that this is classic vote bank pitch being made very publicly, alleging that the Congress is trying to secure minority votes by projecting itself as the sole protector. The Congress, however, has responded to all of the criticism, claiming that Chief Minister Revanth Reddy's remarks have been twisted. In fact, Mohammad Azharuddin, who only days ago was sworn in as a cabinet minister, has insisted that the party stands for Muslims and minorities. But decide for yourself exactly how we should decipher what Revanth Reddy said. Listen into what he said.
कांग्रेस है तो मुसलमान है, कांग्रेस है तो आपकी इज्जत है. जब कांग्रेस नहीं है, अब कुछ नहीं है.
कि ये पूरे फैक्ट पूरे मिसरिप्रेजेंट है, तो उसमें क्या गलत क्या बोल रहे हैं? मुसलमान है उसका मतलब ये है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी और मुसलमान दोनों एक ही है बोल के बोल रहे हैं। ऐसा कुछ उसमें अब अगर आप हर चीज़ को आप नेगेटिव निकालेंगे तो फिर उसका फिर अंत ही नहीं है, एंड ही नहीं है। तो यहाँ पे इस टॉपिक को ज़्यादा आगे नहीं बढ़ाते मैं ये कहूँगा कि सीएम साहब ने बिल्कुल सही कहा, कांग्रेस पार्टी और मुसलमान एक है और कहीं अब से नहीं है, कई साल से है, अब से नहीं हो रहा, कई साल से एक ही है, जब से इंडिपेंडेंस है जब से एक से है। तो उसमें कोई इतना ज़्यादा रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है सोचने की।
Okay, let me bring in Abdul Bashir joining us live from Hyderabad with more details on this. Abdul, how... All right, we'll reconnect with him. My apologies. We're going to reconnect with Abdul in just a bit. We've lost the connection with him, but it tells you really how heated the Jubilee Hills battle currently is. And the fact that the Telangana Chief Minister also, while making the speech for minorities to vote for the Congress, made this comment. I want you to listen in once again to exactly what Revanth Reddy said that triggered this whole controversy, with the BJP and right-wing groups like the VHP also lashing out, saying that this makes it crystal clear that vote bank politics is at play as far as the Congress is concerned. Listen in again to exactly what the Telangana Chief Minister said.
कांग्रेस है तो मुसलमान है, कांग्रेस है तो आपकी इज्जत है। जब कांग्रेस नहीं है अब कुछ नहीं है। कांग्रेस है तो मुसलमान है, कांग्रेस है तो आपकी इज्जत है। जब कांग्रेस नहीं है अब कुछ नहीं है।
So it's the last line that's triggered a controversy, where Revanth Reddy says, if the Congress is not there, then Muslims are nothing, suggesting that it's the Congress that's ensured that this religion essentially thrives. And that's what's led to all of the vote bank allegations here. The Congress, however, has defended what the Telangana Chief Minister has said, making it very clear that what essentially he's trying to communicate is that the Congress stands by this community and ensures their well-being, ensures that they're represented. Having said that, this has led to a political showdown as the BJP has also lashed out. Abdul Bashir is joining us with more details on this. Abdul, has there been any clarification from the Telangana Chief Minister on that particular comment that he's made? Because it's triggered a political storm in Telangana.
Well, yes, yesterday after this statement by the Chief Minister of Telangana during an election campaigning in the Jubilee Hills by-poll in Rahmatnagar, where he has given a statement claiming that if Congress exists, then Muslims exist, and that is the purpose or trust that Muslims have. And if there is no Congress, then there is no Muslims, is what he stated. Now, this statement has sparked controversy yesterday, and we have just got a clarity from the Telangana Minister Azharuddin, where he has said that the statement is being misrepresented.
That's
by
right. So,
the opposition.
Mohammad Azharuddin clearly defending that particular comment. Of course, he's just been sworn in as a minister, saying that this is just messaging from the Congress that they will stand by Muslims in this country. Thanks, Abdul, for those details. But let's talk about that political fight in the Jubilee Hills seat, shall we? It's a by-election that's turned into a full-on battle. Now, you've got essentially a lot of candidates in the fray. The BJP's put up their candidate, trying to make inroads as they have in Telangana. So this seat is crucial for them. The BRS also trying to make their presence felt. For the Congress also, this is messaging that they want to send across, that there's no sense of anti-incumbency really that's building up in Telangana.
The Jubilee Hills by-election has turned into a high-voltage political battle, with parties trading fierce barbs and voters sharply divided. A controversy has erupted after a remark by Congress leader Muhammad Ali Shabir during a campaign in Bihar, intensifying the slugfest in Hyderabad.
वो पतंग को नहीं जा रहा, वो कमल को जा रहा है। ये सोच लो, पतंग बोल के समझ के गलती से डालेंगे, वो वोट जेबी में जा रहा है। तो उसको बचाना है आपको, उनके बातों में नहीं आना है। ये एक वोट की कीमत है।
AIMIM isn't backing down.
काम करवाना हमको आता है और हम हर एक से काम करवाएंगे और करवाते आए। हम किसी के दुम छलने बनकर किसी के पीछे दौड़ने वालों में से नहीं है। दुनिया को दिख रहा है कि हम भाग रहे हैं, लेकिन दुनिया ये नहीं देख रही है कि वो हमारे पीछे आ रहे हैं, हमारे पीछे दौड़ रहे हैं।
Supporters of Jubilee Hills appear divided.
बीआरएस पार्टी के ऐसे स्कीमा थे केसीआर साहब के काम बहुत बेहतरीन थे इसके से बीआरएस आए तो अच्छा रहता वो क्या सोच वादे करे मगर वादों को अमल नहीं कर सके ना साहब केसीआर साहब जो बात करते थे उसके ऊपर अमल भी करते थे
तो टीआरएस से डेवलपमेंट ना हुआ यहाँ पर अपने एरिया जुबली हिल्स में अब ये नवीन आए तो होगा इंशाल्लाह लोकल है ना यहाँ पर वो हिसाब से डेवलपमेंट रहा
Congress candidate Naveen Yadav distanced himself from Shabir Ali's statement, focusing instead on local issues.
Many problems lagging since decades. With the blessings of people, Congress is going to win in Jubilee Hills and we will do much more development activities in constituency.
But BRS working president K.T. Rama Rao hit back, questioning the AIMIM's support for Congress and highlighting past governance records. Chief Minister Revanth Reddy claimed the welfare of Muslims depended on the Congress.
कांग्रेस है तो मुसलमान है कांग्रेस है तो आपकी इज्जत है जब कांग्रेस नहीं है अब कुछ नहीं है
फैक्ट पूरे मिनिस्टर प्रेजेंट है तो उसमें क्या गलत क्या बोल रहे हैं मुसलमान है उसका मतलब ये है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी और मुसलमान दोनों एक ही है बोल के बोल रहे हैं ऐसा कुछ उसमें अब अगर आप हर चीज़ को नेगेटिव निकालेंगे तो फिर उसका फिर अंत ही नहीं है एंड ही नहीं है
BJP candidate Lankala Deepak accused both Congress and BRS of governance failures.
यहाँ पे करंट प्रॉब्लम्स रहता रोड प्रॉब्लम्स रहता हाई टेंशन वायर का प्रॉब्लम रहता घरों को रेगुलराइज करने का प्रॉब्लम रहता सब कुछ करते बोल के वोट डालने के बाद कोई आने वाला नहीं है
With tensions running high, voter sentiment split and parties trading charges, Jubilee Hills has emerged as one of Hyderabad's most fiercely contested battles. Every vote, every statement is under the microscope as the city watches this political firestorm unfold. With Abdul Bashir in Hyderabad, Bureau Report, India Today.
Southern cities have fared rather poorly in the annual Swachh Survekshan survey, meaning that most cities find themselves in the dirtiest cities list. Topping the list with the terrible and rather embarrassing tag of dirtiest city in the country is Madurai. The city that's called the City of Temples has also now got the City of Garbage moniker, grappling with sanitation and waste disposal issues. But that's not the only bad news for southern states. For Tamil Nadu particularly, there's Chennai. Singara Chennai, not so Singara, because it's now in the third place in India's dirtiest cities. Bengaluru also figures in the top 5. It's the 5th dirtiest city in the country. So essentially, 3 cities from the southern states are now in the top 5 of the filthiest cities in the country. And while we talk about development of urban expansion, what these rankings prove is again that basic waste management isn't in place. Basic sanitation remains a crisis and nobody's talking about it. Hopefully, these rankings, particularly in the cities of Madurai, Chennai and Bengaluru, wake up authorities and citizens alike to the civic mess around us, because it isn't enough to boast about being a temple city or a tech city. I'm sure all of you agree that a clean city tag would mean so much more. Zoran Mamdani has scripted history in New York City. The son of Indian-Ugandan immigrants, Mamdani has become New York City's first Muslim and South Asian origin mayor, defeating former Governor Andrew Cuomo in a political upset that's shaking America's establishment, particularly Trump. There were chants of Free Palestine, echoes of Nehru's tryst with destiny. The Big Apple just witnessed a revolution clearly at the ballot box. Let's break down for you what's happened in the last 24 hours in NYC.
Cheers, confetti, and a night to remember in the Big Apple for the Democrats. History made in New York as it chooses its next mayor. Zoran Mamdani has emerged the winner in a 3-way race. Son of Ugandan Indian immigrants, Mamdani is New York City's first Muslim and a person of South Asian descent to become mayor. The 34-year-old, who calls himself a democratic socialist, defeated former Governor Andrew Cuomo in a contest that upended America's political establishment.
New York, Tonight you have delivered a mandate for change. A mandate for a new kind of politics. A mandate for a city we can afford. And a mandate for a government that delivers exactly that.
He also said that New York will not reward Islamophobia.
And we will build a city hall that stands steadfast alongside Jewish New Yorkers and does not waver in the fight against the scourge of anti-Semitism. Where the more than 1 million Muslims know that they belong. Not just in the 5 boroughs of this city, but in the halls of power. No more will New York be a city where you can traffic in Islamophobia and win an election.
Running an insurgent campaign from Queens, Mamdani promised sweeping reforms. A freeze on rents for nearly 1 million apartments, higher taxes on the wealthy, and free city buses to make public transport equitable. Moments after his victory was declared, chants of Free Palestine echoed outside his campaign headquarters, a nod to his outspoken support for Palestinian rights. The new mayor also carries a strong India connection. Mamdani is the son of acclaimed filmmaker Meera Nair and Ugandan scholar Mahmood Mamdani, who has roots in Gujarat. The filmmaker shared Indian director Zoya Akhtar's praise for her son, captioning it, "Zoran, you beauty." In his fiery victory speech, Mamdani invoked India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, quoting lines from the historic Tryst with Destiny address.
Standing before you, I think of the words of Jawaharlal Nehru. A moment comes but rarely in history when we step out from the old to the new, when an age ends and when the soul of a nation long suppressed finds utterance. Tonight we have stepped out from the old into the new.
Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump lashed out, blaming his name's absence from the New York ballot and the federal government shutdown for what he called a temporary setback. But for Zoran Mamdani, the night belonged to history, a new mayor for New York and a new political movement for America. Bureau Report, India Today.
So there was a massive celebration right after the results came in which you also had a 20-minute speech from Mamdani that made headlines. Here are some of those highlights.
The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said, I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity. For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Fingers bruised from lifting boxes on the warehouse floor, palms calloused from delivery bike handlebars, knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power. And yet, over the last 12 months, you have dared to reach for something greater. Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it. The future is in our hands. My friends, we have toppled a political dynasty. We will hold bad landlords to account because the Donald Trumps of our city have grown far too comfortable taking advantage of their tenants. We will put an end to the culture of corruption that has allowed billionaires like Trump to evade taxation and exploit tax breaks. We will stand alongside unions and expand labor protections because we know, just as Here, we believe in standing up for those we love. Whether you are an immigrant, a member of the trans community, one of the many black women that Donald Trump has fired from a federal job, a single mom still waiting for the cost of groceries to go down, or anyone else with their back against the wall, your struggle is ours too. And we will build a city hall that stands steadfast alongside Jewish New Yorkers and does not waver in the fight against the scourge of anti-Semitism. Where the more than 1 million Muslims know that they belong. Not just in the 5 boroughs of this city, but in the halls of power. No more will New York be a city where you can traffic in Islamophobia and win an election. On January 1st, I will be sworn in as the mayor of New York City. And that is because of you. So before I say anything else, I must say this. Thank you. Thank you to the next generation of New Yorkers who refuse to accept that the promise of a better future was a relic of the past.
Mamdani was always deemed a front runner, almost a surety that he would win this election. But he did have some unconventional policies that many believed could make or break his mayoral bid. Ultimately, it made it for him. But let's take a look at exactly what he stood for.
Too radical, too unrealistic, and even too socialist.
Zoran Mamdani!
Defying all these unflattering invectives hurled at him, Zoran Mamdani is on track to be New York City's next mayor.
Let's go!
At a time of unprecedented income inequality, Mamdani has demanded that the rich start paying their fair share of taxes. Mamdani claims the taxes will give him the revenue he needs to make public transportation free, freeze rent hikes on apartments, and establish city-owned grocery stores. All of these ideas have one thing in common. They are what the working class wants. This is the voter group that has long felt alienated by the Democratic Party.
My name is Assemblymember Zohran Mamdani, and I am running to make the city affordable. I'll freeze the rent for millions of tenants, make buses fast and free, and deliver universal childcare. And before you ask, I'll pay for it by taxing the rich.
He grew his base with grassroots campaigning on the streets of New York, addressing issues both economic and moral that directly impact the lives of the people. Mamdani also did not run away from the moral issue that is troubling millions in New York and around the country: the need to end US military support for Israel. His progressive politics transcends beyond New York. It is focused on upholding the humanity of all people, including Palestinians. Despite opponents attacking him for his position on Palestine, he refused to flip to appease critics. Facing a mountain of opposition from major Democrats too, the 33-year-old legislator pulled off an incredible upset by defeating former Governor Andrew Cuomo in a mayoral primary. With a mayoral victory almost assured in a city that overwhelmingly leans blue, the question is, will Mamdani's unconventionally inclusive politics make an impact beyond New York? Bureau Report, India Today.
Mamdani has had a very interesting rise. He's been a housing councillor. He's been a hip-hop artist. There are several of his rap songs that are going viral now. So he's not your typical politician, and he's just 33. At that age, he's already making history and headlines.
From rapper to mayor, Zoran Mamdani called himself Mr. Cardamom or Young Cardamom. and his rap videos have now gone viral after it became clear that he's going to be the next mayor of New York City. The 33-year-old's rap song in 2016 even featured in his mother Meera Nayer's film Queen of Cutaway. Another song titled Salam is an ode to being Muslim in New York. Some have lashed onto this song to argue his views are too extreme for New Yorkers. Another now viral 2019 song is called Nani, and it's Mamdani's tribute to his grandmother Praveen Nair, in which he calls her 85-year-old gold. Mamdani's mother, Meera Nair, is of course an acclaimed filmmaker, with films like Monsoon Wedding and The Namesake. His father, Mahmood Mamdani, is an anthropology professor at Columbia University, and Zoran has chosen to follow his father's religion of Islam. Mamdani married Rama Duaji, a Syrian-American artist, earlier this year. The couple, who met on the dating app Hinge, live in the Astoria section of Queens. Bureau Report, India Today.
And here's a moment that's gone viral of his victory speech, of Zoran Mamdani's victory speech as New York City's mayor-elect. Now, at that point, a Bollywood track came on, and a rather iconic one that I'm sure you'll recognize. Take a look at this moment. Clearly, Mamdani ensuring all of those important symbolic messages are sent out. Let's move on this broadcast and also get to a report from America of a UPS cargo plane crashing shortly after takeoff, killing crew members and people on the ground. It's prompted an investigation and temporary airport shutdown. But it's the footage of that crash that's gone viral. Take a look at this report from Kentucky.
Tragedy struck in Louisville, Kentucky Tuesday night when a UPS cargo plane crashed shortly after takeoff from Muhammad Ali International Airport. The plane crashed about at 5:15 p.m. Video showed flames on the plane's left wing and a trail of smoke. The plane slightly lifted off the ground before turning into a fireball. The terrifying crash was caught on dash camera. The dead includes crew members and people on ground. The deadly crash took place at cargo giant UPS's largest cargo handling facility in Louisville.
We all know somebody who works at UPS, and they're all texting their friends, their family, trying to make sure everyone is safe. Sadly, some of those texts are probably going to go unanswered.
UPS acknowledged the crash in a brief statement and said the National Transportation Safety Board would handle the investigation. The airport, meanwhile, was shut down for hours due to the deadly crash. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get to breaking news coming in on the announcement made by the BCCI on the 15-member squad to take on South Africa in the upcoming series. Rishabh Pant has made his return to the squad, so a comeback for Rishabh Pant there. Remember that Pant had suffered an injury during the England tour and was out of action until recently when he was back on the field for the India A versus South Africa A series. The first test of the series will be played at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata from November 14th. The squad has been announced. The big headline is that Rishabh Pant has made a comeback. He's returned now after a brief break, considering that he had suffered a foot fracture during the fourth test against England in Manchester in July. So the last many months he's been out of action, but after having proved his fitness levels, he's now back in the Team India squad for the upcoming series against South Africa, which will be kicking off on November 14th. The first match, which is the first test of the series, will be played at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata from November 14th. Nitin Srivastava is joining us with more details on this. Nitin, not really surprising considering that Rishabh Pant did prove that he is fit and fine when he played in the India A side.
Well, of course, when Rishabh Pant got injured during the England series, it was a big blow for Indian side because as far as Rishabh Pant's space in the Team India is concerned, he always everybody rates him very highly. As far as the Test cricket is concerned, he was there for his treatment, and then he opted a proper rehab. But after all these things, he reported actually to NCA, and from there on, he was drafted in India A series against South Africa, and he was named captain. But again, for this South Africa Test series, Rishabh Pant is again making his way to Indian side, especially in the white jersey. So it is going to be a big thing for Rishabh Pant, and especially for Indian side, because it is going to be a home series, in India. And the last that we played was New Zealand, that we lost actually. So in each and every aspects, this series is going to be very important, and especially for Rishabh Pant, who is coming back in the national side.
All right, Nitin, thanks for joining us with those details. And with that news break, I'm wrapping up this edition of Super 6. Thanks very much for tuning in.